All right. Dillian Whyte releases information that we already knew about him having having passed to a pre-fight Vada test and a post-fight Vada test. Let's talk about why that doesn't mean a doggone thing in this video. All right, I am staying on this subject. Welcome to the channel. Subscribers, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Also, Patreons, check out the negotiation series, personal and professional negotiation series that we're doing over on the Patreon page. I think that you'll like it very much. Also, thank you to everybody that supports in the super chats. Much appreciated. Everybody that supports on the Cash App and obviously I said the Patreons already. All right, man. And also, Sal Gutierrez, welcome back to the live streams, man. It was good to see you. Hey, man, everything's a water under the bridge with Mikey and Arrow. Water under the bridge. But let's move on to the conversation at hand. Dillian Whyte. Okay, Dillian Whyte. So I've been making videos, doing live streams all week about this Dillian Whyte situation where he tested positive for D-ball. Where there was D-ball, which is a steroid that is illegal in competition, out of competition, in the UK, in the United States, in Antarctica, in Russia, everywhere on the planet, it's illegal, okay? And it was in his system before the fight with Oscar Rivas. He is given a secret hearing that not even his coach knew took place, and was allowed to fight. The only reason we know about this at all is because Thomas Hauser, the author of the biography of one of the many biographies of the great Muhammad Ali, somebody leaked a story to him and he shared it with people. Other than that, we would have never known that he had D-ball in his system. Right after that, Eddie Hearn says Dillian Whyte was cleared by Vada. He passed the Vada tests. And he was cleared by the BBOC. He was cleared by UCAD, and he was cleared by the BBOC. We knew that he had passed Vada tests. What we didn't know, what we found out was that he failed a test for UCAD. So somehow people came up with some news that that repeated something that we already knew, was that Dillian Whyte passed his Vada test, as if somehow that clears him from the fact that he tested positive for D-ball on a UCAD test. Let me, breaking news. There are many people who pass test after test after test, and then they pop dirty. It is not a defense to you popping dirty on one test that you passed other tests. You failed that test, and it's not the testing for performance enhancing drug is not this. 1 out of 2, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, right? Oh yeah, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Yeah, he passed that one. He passed that one. He failed that. He passed that. He passed that. He failed that. He passed that. 2 out of 3, that's 3 out of 4 ain't bad? No. If you fail a performance enhancing drug test, you had it it's in that bottle. People that are trying to support Dillian Whyte for things that they would never support somebody else for, or never support certain people for, are acting as if the fact that there was 2 clean samples means the third sample wasn't dirty. The third one was dirty. And unless you can explain why the third one is dirty, then what are you talking about? He tested positive. Here's the thing. Did you test positive for a performance enhancing drug? Yes, he did. Well, he also tests clean. Okay, but did he fail a performance enhancing drug test? Yes, he did. Before this breaking news that people let out about him having passed the pre and post Vada tests, did he fail a performance enhancing? Yes, he did. He failed one. So what do I care? What should Oscar Rivas care? There were trace amounts of D-ball in his system. They were minute amount of D-ball in his system. So it was clearly leaving his system. So all I can see is there was one test where it didn't leave his system. And there was two other tests, because I haven't heard about a B sample. There's two other tests where it did leave his system. He was successful in flushing it out of his system in two tests. In one test, he wasn't successful in getting it out of his system in time. He's still guilty of testing positive for performance enhancing drug and D-ball of all things, which is a straight up and down steroid taken orally. You have to put it in your mouth, knowingly put it in your mouth. It's not something that can be contaminated through these other excuses people give, like I ate uncastrated boar meat, or I was in Mexico and I ate a enchilada that had tainted beef in it, because we all know that the meat processing plants in that area are tainted with combuterol, and that's how I got into my system. No. There's no British fish and chip places that are sprinkling D-ball in their batter. No, Dillian Whyte is guilty of fighting with performance enhancing drugs. And again, even if the B sample, which I've not heard, came clear, but you know how it's just interesting, man. People convolute all kind of issues. I've not heard of that being clean, but even if it did come back clean, I still wouldn't care. Because UCAD allowed an Eddie Hearn in Matchroom, allowed a man who at the time, the only thing that they knew was that there was D-ball in his system. They allowed him to fight. They did not tell the opponent, and they knowingly put that guy at risk. Now, I have no doubt that they're going to clear Dillian Whyte. Never have had any doubt that they're going to clear Dillian Whyte. They obviously intended to clear Dillian Whyte because they already cleared him. Dillian Whyte, as they say for Eddie Hearn, said that Dillian Whyte can fight next week if he wanted to, because he's been cleared. So again, all you're doing is giving me the same. When you tell me that he passed Vada testing and that he's cleared to fight, all you're doing is repeating what Eddie Hearn said originally, taking a different quote from somebody else and putting it in an article or putting it in the comment section. Literally nothing changed. The day after the fight, the day that this broke, Eddie Hearn said Vada cleared him. Okay, so now you're telling me now that Vada cleared him. Eddie Hearn said then Vada cleared him. Now some of you guys are saying he's cleared to fight. Eddie Hearn said before any of this stuff, as soon as this stuff happened, he was cleared to fight. What's the difference? What is the difference between what these guys are putting out today and what they put out, what happened 2 weeks ago? Literally nothing has changed. But like magic, Eddie and these media and some of these media folk that want people to just give Dillian a second chance, not even a second chance. You want to give Dillian a third. You want to get it's a second chance. You want to give Dillian a second chance. You want to wait till all the facts come out. Wave your magic wand, delay until everybody forgets about it. Or delay, distract, deflect. Delay, distract, deflect. The issue is not whether or not he passed the Vada test. The issue is why he failed the UCAD test for D-ball. And the question isn't even whether the B sample of it will come out clean or not. The question is, how did you get D-ball in your system? Did somebody taint the sample? Can you prove that somebody tainted that sample? If you can't prove that somebody tainted that sample, then you cannot explain to me or prove to me that D-ball got in your system some way other than you taking a tablet or a pill, whatever, tablet or pill of D-ball, putting it in your mouth and swallowing it, letting it course through your systems, getting the benefit of it, and then try to cycle off. And the reason that there's trace amounts of it is because you did not successfully cycle off. And the reason why the other ones came in positive is because those metabolites didn't wind up in that particular portion of your urine. The metabolite popped out in the one that tested positive, which is why people that are drug addicts or being tested for drug violations are tested often. They test them, hey, this week, next week, this week, next week, next week, next week. We're testing you every week. And we're going to test you randomly. Why? Because this sample might be clean, but that one might be dirty. And when you test positive in that type of scenario, they don't say, well, you know, I tested positive every time for the last 3 weeks. I'm not in violation of my parole. Oh, yeah, you are. That one's dirty. Well, can I get a B sample? No, you cannot get a B sample. You can get your back in where you came from. Okay? Stop. Anyway, it is what it is. Stop making excuses for Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte's not even that good a fighter. Okay, on top of that. And the fact that he needs D-ball in the system to fight somebody like Oscar Rivas, and does that get rid of the loaded gloves or the fixed gloves or the unapproved gloves? They got some reason for that too? Anyway, it is what it is. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.